Yeah, so guys, let's in a nutshell, let's look at how Africans used to celebrate their Christmas. Yeah, before the arrival of the Europeans. As we know, the modern way we are celebrating Christmas wasn't the way of Africa. Africa has their own unique ways of celebrating Christmas, and this unique ways is the identity of Africa. This is what Africans are known for before being introduced into the Western religion or Western way of celebrating Christmas. Well, just calm down, watch, and you definitely gonna enjoy African way of Christmas celebration. What to the end?
Did you know that long before colonization, African communities had unique ways of marking the end of the year? These traditions, deeply rooted in their culture and spirituality, were vibrant, colorful, and meaningful. Unlike the Gregorian calendar most of us use today, many African societies relied on agricultural cycles, lunar patterns, and spiritual beliefs to guide their festivals and celebrations. In this video, we'll explore how various African cultures celebrated December before colonization. From harvest festivals to rainmaking ceremonies, let's uncover the rich traditions that shaped the way our ancestors celebrated the end of the year. December in pre-colonial Africa. For many African societies, December marked a significant time in their agricultural calendar. It often signaled the end of the harvest, a moment of gratitude to the gods and ancestors for their blessings in preparation for the upcoming planting season. The celebrations weren't tied to a specific date, but rather to nature's rhythms. Whether it was the sighting of the new moon, the abundance of food, or the change in weather patterns. While each community had its unique way of celebrating, some common themes connected these traditions: gratitude, spiritual renewal, music, dance, and unity. West Africa, festivals of harvest and gratitude. In West Africa, particularly among the Yoruba people, the end of the year was often celebrated with festivals like Oduna Kore, a harvest festival dedicated to the gods and ancestors. It was a time of thanksgiving for bountiful harvests. Communities gathered at shrines to offer sacrifices to deities like Ogun, the god of iron and labor, and Shango, the god of thunder. Drumming and dancing were central to the festivities. The rhythmic beats of talking drums filled the air as men, women, and children danced in elaborate costumes. Elders told stories of past harvests and the importance of maintaining a harmonious relationship with the divine and nature. East Africa, New Year in the Nile Valley. In the Nile Valley, the ancient Egyptians celebrated Koyak in the winter, a festival honoring Osiris, the god of agriculture and rebirth. Osiris symbolized the life-giving floodwaters of the Nile, which were crucial for farming. During Koyak, priests performed rituals to reenact the death and resurrection of Osiris, symbolizing the renewal of life. There were grand processions, with people carrying effigies of Osiris through the streets. Families gathered to feast on bread, beer, and fruits, giving thanks for the year's harvest while praying for a prosperous year ahead. Southern Africa, rainmaking ceremonies. In Southern Africa, among the Zulu and Tswana people, December was a time for rainmaking ceremonies. These rituals were performed to honor the ancestors and ask for rain to ensure the success of the next planting season. Spiritual leaders, often women, led the ceremonies. They burned incense, chanted prayers, and made offerings of grains and livestock. The community danced and sang in unison, believing their collective energy would reach the spirits. The ceremonies were not only spiritual, but also a celebration of unity and hope. Central Africa, the Congo Kingdom's spiritual gatherings. In the Congo Kingdom, December marked the end of one spiritual cycle and the beginning of another. Spiritual leaders, known as Nganga, organized ceremonies to honor the ancestors and prepare for the new year. Sacred objects like nkisi, spiritual vessels, were central to these gatherings. The community would offer gifts and prayers, seeking guidance and protection for the year ahead. These ceremonies also included storytelling, where elders shared wisdom and tales of resilience to inspire the younger generation. However, despite the diversity of African cultures, certain themes connected these celebrations, which are gratitude and unity. Communities came together to thank the gods, ancestors, and nature for their blessings. Music and dance. Drumming, singing, and dancing were not just entertainment, but a form of spiritual expression. Spiritual renewal. December was a time for cleansing the soul and strengthening bonds with the divine, ancestors, and one another. The impact of colonization on African traditions. Colonialism disrupted many of these traditions. European missionaries discouraged indigenous practices, replacing them with Christian holidays like Christmas. Over time, many African December celebrations faded into obscurity. However, some communities blended traditional practices with Christian influences, creating unique hybrid celebrations. For example, in parts of West Africa, Christmas celebrations often include masquerades and drumming, drawing from traditional festivals. Why these traditions matter today? These pre-colonial December celebrations remind us of Africa's rich cultural heritage. They were more than just festive events. They were expressions of gratitude, spirituality, and community. Today, as we celebrate the end of the year in various ways, let's take a moment to reflect on and honor these traditions. They are a testament to the creativity, resilience, and spirituality of our ancestors. Away from that, what December traditions are celebrated in your community? Share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing stories from Africa's past. Thank you for watching.
Okay, thank you all for watching that video. As you know, Africa has been celebrating Christmas before the arrival of Europeans, and Africa has their unique ways of celebrating Christmas. And one of the unique ways of doing this Christmas celebration is through dancing. Yeah, dancing is part of African culture, and Christmas is more like the ending of every year. It's a celebration just to thank God, for the lives lived in the year. And Africans uses dancing, when they gather together, there will be a lot of dancing, people come together and dance together. It's a great way Africans use in celebrating their Christmas. Another way is through uh masquerading. In African religion, or in African culture, or most of African culture, especially Nigerians, we love doing masquerade. Masquerade is something that comes once in every year, yeah, and this comes at the end of the year. you know Different culture, different people, with their own form of masquerade. They come up, dance together, have fun. All these are ways of celebrating Christmas. We are celebrating Christmas. We are putting on masquerade, we are dancing, we are doing all kinds of things. Another way of doing celebrating Christmas is by worshiping our gods, worshiping our gods. Don't get me wrong, before the arrival of the Europeans in Africa, Africa has their ways of worship. Before Christianity was introduced to Africans, Africans have their ways of worship, and one and the ways Africans use in worshiping their God is by through idols and by worshiping their idols and all kinds of deities. That has been African part of worship, and this in every end of the year, Africans comes together to do more of the activities for the gods, to do more of sacrifice for their gods. But after the coming of the Europeans, most of these things were replaced with the Western religion, that is Christianity. Why some few are still practicing some of this African religion, most people have been dominated by the Christianity. So, and are still why Africans culture or Christmas has been replaced by the Western Christmas. Some are still doing the both, some are still joining the both, some are still practicing the both. Some are still trying to maintain their culture, trying to maintain their routine. So this has been Africans' way of worship, or should I say, this has been African way of Christmas before the arrival of the Europeans. Before they brought religion, before they brought Christianity. Through Christianity, we now see the modern way of Christmas. So, with this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that Africa has their own unique way of celebrating Christmas before the arrival of the Europeans. Thank you for watching and Merry Christmas to you.